When most people hear about somebody composing music, they know that he or she is creating a brand new melody. However, when most people hear about somebody arranging music, they have no idea what that is. When somebody arranges a piece of music, they take a pre-existing melody and make changes to it, putting it into a new style. Sometimes they say that an arranger reimagines a piece of music. The end result will have the listener hear the tune in a way that he or she never heard before. In this video, we will explore several of the tools used by music arrangers. Here are several examples. Changing from major to minor, adding a key change, adding standard harmony, adding jazz harmony, adding a counter melody, using augmentation, changing the rhythm of the melody, changing the meter, and embellishing the melody. Let's start with changing the meter. The meter of the song is determined by how the beats are grouped. It is very common for a song to have 4 beats in every measure, which comes naturally to most people. Let's listen to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with 4 beats in a measure. I'll play a left-hand part that will help you see and hear the groupings. So if you count with it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If a song has a meter of 3, it sounds like a waltz. Here is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star played with 3 beats per measure. The left hand again will help you recognize that the beats are in groups of 3s. 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If a song has a meter of 2, it sounds like a march. Here is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star played with 2 beats per measure. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's like a march. You can also put a song in a meter of fast 6, which also sounds like march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A rare meter is 5. Listen to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star play with 5 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're going to listen to several examples of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and you are to choose the correct meter. Here's example number 1. The meter was 3. Here's the next one. The meter was 2. Here's the next one. The meter was 4. Here's the next one. The meter was 3. Here's the next one. The 6. A meter of 6 almost sounds like you're skipping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the next one. The meter was 4. Here's the next one. The meter was 3. Here's the next one. The meter was 4. And you might have noticed that I played all the notes twice as long. We are going to talk about that later in this lesson. Let's do one more. The meter is 5. It's rare that we hear music in the meter of 5, but there are still pieces written in 5. Now, let's talk about major and minor. The use of major and minor is one of the primary ways of creating emotion in a piece of music. We all know that when a song is played in a major key, it basically sounds happy. If we change the song to a minor key, it can sound sad or even spooky. The use of major and minor creates what in music? The use of major and minor creates emotion in music. When we take a major scale and we take the third note, 1, 2, 3, and the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we lower them a half step. This goes down a half step. We take this note and do it a half step lower instead. We just created a minor scale. So listen to the major scale again. I'm going to lower the third. I'm going to lower the sixth. Listen to the minor scale. Notice how it totally changes the emotion of the scale. Now you are to listen to several examples of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and identify whether they are major or minor. That was major. Next one. That was also major. Next one. That was minor. Next one. That was major. Next one. That was minor. Next one. That was also minor. Augmentation is a neat way to change the sound of a piece of music just by holding the notes longer. Augmentation can be done by playing the notes twice as long, and it can create some fun syncopated rhythms if each note is played 1.5 times long. What do you call it when you play the notes of a song twice as long? It is called augmentation. And the notes could also be 1.5 times as long, or other values. So now I'm going to play several examples of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and you are to identify whether the notes are of regular value or if augmentation was applied. The notes were regular value. The notes were regular value. Augmentation. Regular value. Augmentation. An arranger will often add moving notes in an arrangement to fill the spaces between the augmented notes in the melody. Here's an example using what's called an Alberti bass in the left hand, along with. So here's the regular values. And here's augmentation. So now you'll listen to several examples and decide, was I using augmentation or the regular values of the notes? Example number 1. Augmentation. Regular values. Regular values. Augmentation. So that was augmentation, but it was syncopated because I did everything 1.5 times the value. As a review, what is the word for the grouping of beats in a piece of music? Meter is how beats are grouped in a piece of music. What happens when you lower the third and sixth degrees of a scale a half step. By lowering the third and sixth degrees of the scale a half step, you are creating a minor scale. What do you call it when you play all the notes of a song twice as long? When you play all the notes twice as long, it's called augmentation. One of the most awesome things an arranger does is adding harmony to a melody. Although harmony is one of the most commonly used musical terms, most people actually don't know what it means. When we play two or more pitches at the same time, we are creating harmony. We can also create harmony by singing a different note than somebody else at the same time. Listen to these examples. If you only hear one note being played, you are to choose no harmony as the answer. If you hear more than one note played, you are to choose harmony as the answer. No harmony. No harmony. Harmony. No harmony. 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 Now you are to listen to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and identify whether one note or two notes are being played at the same time. If you hear two notes at a time, you are to select harmony. If you only hear one note at a time, you are to select no harmony as an answer. No harmony. Harmony. No harmony. Now I'm going to hide the keyboard and you have to figure out if I'm playing harmony or if I'm not. Here's number one. Harmony. Harmony. No harmony. Most of the music you hear on the radio has harmony. I would say 99.5% of what we hear nowadays has harmony, maybe even a higher percentage. We all know that if you play two or more notes together, it is called harmony. We also know that if we specifically play three or more notes at the same time, it is called a chord. The most standard chord we hear is the triad. This is a chord made up specifically of three pitches. The bottom note of the triad is called the root. The middle note is the third, and the top is a fifth. Because if you count up the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 5, you have the root, third, fifth. Together, that's a triad. Major triads sound happy like this. These are all major triads. If you take the third of the triad, which is this note, and lower the third, you have a minor triad. Here's another one. Here's another minor triad. You'll notice that the minor triads can sound sad, they can sound scary. The chords we commonly hear have notes that sound pleasant together, called consonants. There is a lot of consonants in standard harmony. Here are examples of pairs of notes that are consonant. Hear how they sound pleasant together? When notes clash with each other, it is called dissonance. Here are some pairs of notes that clash. Hear the dissonance? Anytime you have two notes on the keyboard that are right next to each other, they're going to be dissonant. So that's called dissonance. Standard harmony is full of consonants with occasional dissonance. On the other hand, jazz chords are full of dissonance. Listen to these chords and how they have notes that clash with each other. That's a jazz chord right there, a major seventh. Hear that clash there? Let's do another one. Let's take this chord with these clashy notes. I'll keep them in the chord. Hear how jazzy that sounds? It sounds unpleasant when you single out the two notes that clash, but when you put them together with the other notes, it's a very jazzy sound. There's some jazz chords. Some really neat chords you can come up with, and one of the things that really makes them sound so jazzy is how much dissonance is there. What is it called when you play two notes at the same time and they clash? It is called dissonance. What is it called when you play two notes at the same time and they sound pleasant together? It is called consonants. Here is an example of "O Christmas Tree" played with standard harmony. I'm going to move the tripod so I can reach the keys better. You'll notice that there's a lot of consonants in this. Very simple sound and very friendly to all ears. When many people hear music with jazz chords, they immediately think of Charlie Brown, since the soundtracks for all those cartoons were played by the jazz pianist Vince Guaraldi. Here's an example of "O Christmas Tree" played with standard harmony. Pretty simple sound. Here's an example of "O Christmas Tree" played with jazz chords. Amazing how all those clashing notes can give you such a relaxing sound. Now you are to listen to "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" and identify whether it is played with standard harmony or jazz harmony. Standard harmony. Standard harmony again, and I threw a surprise chord in there for you too, but it was also very standard without dissonance. jazz harmony. Jazz harmony. And you hear that example? I played the same melody and a different type of chords, and it still sounded like jazz. But you could tell it was harmonized differently. Standard harmony. Jazz harmony. We can write an arrangement of a piece of music and keep the melody exactly the same as the original, changing only the harmonies. We can also arrange a piece of music adding extra notes between the original notes of the melody. This is called embellishment. Listen to these examples of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. You are to decide each time whether it is the original melody or if the melody was embellished with extra notes. Original melody. Embellished melody. Original melody. Original melody. Embellished melody. What do you call it when you add extra notes between the original melody notes? It's called embellishment. Many pop singers nowadays embellish the melodies they sing by adding extra notes or sliding from one note to the other. Vocal embellishments are almost expected of a pop or jazz singer. The same is true with people who play pop or jazz on instruments. Sometimes an arranger will change the rhythm of the melody rather than keeping it in the original style. One way to bring excitement into a piece of music is to place a lot of the notes in between the beats. This is called syncopation. The pop music you hear on the radio is full of syncopation. Syncopation is also used in jazz, ragtime, and other types of popular music. You are to listen to each example and decide if it is the original rhythm or if it is syncopated. Original rhythm. Original rhythm. Original rhythm. syncopated rhythm. Original rhythm. Syncopated rhythm. So remember, rhythm is created by when each note falls in relation to each other. Also in relation to the beat. Do they fall on the beat, before the beat, or after the beat? One more example. Syncopated rhythm. I also change a few melody notes along the way to make it even more interesting. There's so many fun ways to arrange a piece of music. A great way to bring a piece of music to life is to add a key change. This is done at a certain point in a piece of music where all the notes shift up or down. It's like traveling to a new place or encountering a new frontier. Many pop songs on the radio have a key change somewhere between the middle and the end. You are to listen to the following examples. If you hear it change key, you will answer key change. If not, you will answer no key change. That had a key change. That had a key change. You are to listen to the following examples. If you hear it change key, you will answer key change. If not, you will answer no key change. Key change. No key change. No key change. Now you're going to listen without seeing the keys and see if you can identify the key change or no key change. That had a key change. That had a key change. key change. A great way to make an arrangement interesting is to add a counter melody. A counter melody sounds like it is playing two different melodies at the same time. Most counter melodies are not actually a specific song, but for this lesson, I will play a song you know along with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. For each example, you have to figure out what song is being played at the same time as Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Here's number one. So for that example, I played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in the right hand, and in the left hand, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Together. Next example. So for that example, I played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in the right hand. In the left hand, Jingle Bells. And together, next example. So in the right hand, I played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Left hand, I played This Old Man. Together. And I think you all know that the original name of that melody is This Old Man, which was adopted by the Barney Show and changed to I Love You, You Love Me. But the original melody is This Old Man. One more. So I played Twinkle Twinkle in the right hand, the left in, Joy to the World. Together. And you have a bit of dissonance going on in there. So let's do a review. I will say the definition, and you are to choose the appropriate musical term. When two or more notes are played at the same time. Harmony. When all the notes shift up at one point in the song. Key change. And it is possible for the notes to all shift down also. When notes fall in between beats, giving the rhythm a jumpy, lively sound. Syncopation. When you lower the third degree of a scale a half step, making a song sound sad or spooky. Minor. A chord with three notes. Triad. When the notes of a song are played twice as long. Augmentation. The way beats are grouped in a song. Meter. What is the meter of a march? 2. What is the meter of a waltz? 3. What is a meter that's less common than all the others I taught today? 5. What's the most commonly heard meter? 4. What do you call when notes clash with each other? Dissonance. When notes sound pleasant with each other, it is called consonance. When 3 or more notes are played at the same time. Chord. This type of music has chords with a lot of dissonance. Jazz. When you play 2 different melodies at the same time against each other. Countermelody. When you have counter melodies against each other, it is also called something else. Polyphony. This type of music has a lot of syncopation. Jazz.